Now on RTV6, gunfire, cars damaged in a crash, one person dead, a violent morning on the city's west side, and tonight police are asking for your help.
We always hear about teachers needing supplies, and this should be a problem that's easily fixed.
Communities are stepping in to help pay for classroom supplies for teachers. We will show you one of the newest efforts.
I'm anticipating your question. I'll have the timeline for when sunshine returns.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening. Now at 5 o'clock, Metro Police are asking for your help in their investigation of a morning crash and shooting that left one person dead, 2 people in the hospital, and 4 cars damaged.
RTV6's Cameron Riddle is live at 30th Street and Lafayette Road where the crash happened with what we are learning tonight. Cameron.
Well, good evening. Late this afternoon, we have learned that police are now asking for the public's help in putting the pieces back together after one woman was killed and a man was injured after what ended in a crash here at 30th and Lafayette Road, but may have started as a shooting. IMPD officers were actually in the area when this all began, and they tell us they actually heard multiple gunshots and then the crash. Take a look at some of this video that we are showing you right now. It may be hard to look at, but this is what kept the intersection closed and buzzing with police officers for at least 6 hours. Police tell us 4 cars in total were involved, and the 2 people injured were both taken to the hospital. IMPD says that unidentified male was taken to the hospital in serious condition. The woman was also transported to the hospital with a gunshot wound, but did die at the hospital. We talked to a man who witnessed the crash this morning. He says the driver of the terribly damaged blue car somehow walked away after being slammed into from behind while he was sitting at that light.
And all of a sudden, the Camaro came shooting all the way down the street, at least 90 miles per hour, and hit the car and spent it 3 times, and that's when it hit the Altima.
Now, that witness went on to say more about what he saw, including what happened, what he saw when one of the drivers involved got out of his vehicle and walked over to one of the other cars involved. We are not yet showing you that portion of the interview just yet. Out of respect for the family, IMPD tells us they have not yet finished notifying all of the next of kin. At this hour, they also have not revealed any suspects, but they have said that this shooting and crash was, quote, isolated and directed. Exactly what that means is still unclear tonight, but we are working to learn more. Coming up tonight on the news at 6, hear what a school bus driver says she heard as she was driving through this area this morning in her school bus. We're live tonight on the west side. I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Sounds like a lot to still sort out tonight, Cameron. Thank you. A Carmel police officer will serve a year probation after pleading guilty to driving drunk. Brian Hood reached a plea agreement with Hamilton County prosecutors. He must complete a drug and alcohol evaluation and attend a victim impact panel. If Hood does not complete the requirements, he could serve up to a year behind bars. Hood is still employed with the Carmel Police Department and has been on administrative leave since his September arrest. However, termination proceedings are underway. As Call 6 Investigates has reported, Hood was arrested for public intoxication back in 2011. He's been with the department for 20 years. Put your phones down while driving. That could soon be the law in Indiana under a bill moving its way through the legislature. This afternoon, a Senate committee advanced a bill to make it illegal to hold your phone while driving. You could still use Bluetooth or hands-free technology while driving, just as long as you aren't physically holding your phone. The bill was tweaked slightly today and now heads to the full Senate. A similar bill has passed the House.
Teachers are struggling to pay for classroom supplies. The U.S. Department of Education found 94% of public school teachers spend their own money on school supplies. Districts are realizing the toll this is taking on their staff. Tonight, RTV6's Stephanie Wade is showing you how one school district is trying to lend a hand.
Some of the things that these teachers need is it's just mind-boggling.
Everything from markers to notebooks.
She talked about how she asked for a stapler for Christmas for her classroom. And I'm like, I have staplers laying around my office.
To things like clothing, coats, shirts, hats, and gloves.
She has a foster child that's in her class, and she didn't have a book bag.
There's so many needs, and so we're trying to address things that teachers either can't or shouldn't have to address on their own.
Anderson Community Schools Education Foundation has created a classroom closet for its teachers, who they say every year are buying school supply items for students on their own dime.
Teachers are always going above and beyond in so many ways.
When you add it all up, the National Center for Education Statistics found Hoosier teachers are on the hook for an average of $462 each school year out of their own pocket. But thanks to a $3,000 donation from the Madison County Credit Union, they're trying to change that.
We need to get these supplies that teachers need in their hands. It's that simple.
They're amazed that they're getting things for free, and they're so appreciative.
The classroom closet just opened last week for teachers to pick up items. They're hoping other businesses and community partners will get involved and make donations too, for the teachers and for the kids.
Trying to solve a problem.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And Anderson is not the only district to have school supply support for its teachers. Indianapolis Public Schools has Teachers Treasures, and MSD of Lawrence Township has Educator Exchange. If you'd like to make a donation to the Classroom Closet, we have contact info at the bottom of this story on our website at theindychannel.com. And RTV6 has been following the growing drive to address needs of teachers and students in Indiana. Take, for example, one local central Indiana couple that had a dream to make sure parents could have a safe setting to provide clothing for their kids. Kip and Stacy Bancroft started Stacy's Sharing Closet last year in 4 Southern Hancock community school buildings. The boutique-style clothing pantry provides children with new or gently used clothing inside the school. There is no limit to the number of times you can visit per year or the number of times you can take. If they don't have what you need, they are able to purchase you items with donations they've received from the community. Stacy Bancroft has been an educator for 28 years and saw the need.
It's hard enough to ask for help, but when you come to a place like this and you can maintain your dignity and you can choose the things that you want to choose.
The Bancrofts are in the process of opening another Stacy Sharing Closet at Knightstown Intermediate School.
Let's get your Storm Team 6 forecast. I'm in the tracking center with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. And true to form, you said it would start out warmer and then get cooler throughout the day. You could feel a change.
We made it to 49 at about 4:30 in the morning. Temperatures have been falling ever since. Now we wait on the cloud cover to clear. That will set up a stage here where we have several days with below average temperatures, dry conditions, but eventually some sunshine into the picture. Just want to show you the cloud cover we have, and maybe a couple of sprinkles from Nashville over to Columbus. They're moving to the south and east. The cloud cover, the gray there, will slowly disappear. The drier air sits to our north and west. That will advance to the southeast, and so skies gradually clear tonight, setting the stage for a cold night, but not our coldest in the forecast. Wind is out of the northwest. That's the big change. Yesterday at this time we had a strong south wind. Overnight tonight, the cold northwest wind. Temperature 37 in Indy now, 40 in Evansville. Temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees cooler than they were yesterday at this time. Temperatures continue to fall. Nothing happens too quickly until the clouds clear. By 11 o'clock, we'll be at 32 degrees. And as you get started tomorrow morning, dry and cooler. There's your headline. And notice the sunshine that comes out. Talk about how long we can hold on to that coming up.
What happens when you take the same house and put it in 2 different communities? A new study is bringing a conversation to the forefront about the property values of homes in predominantly black communities. The findings, just released by IUPUI, show a disparity when it comes to home values across Marion County. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum spoke with researchers and those in the housing industry about the impact for homeowners and the community as a whole.
They're homes just like this, and they're located in specific areas across Marion County. But because of their location in predominantly black neighborhoods, they're being undervalued, sometimes by around $40,000. That's according to an analysis from IU's Center for Research on Inclusion and Social Policy. Those studying the issue say this is problematic for a number of reasons. It prevents people living in these neighborhoods from building wealth, but it also has an impact on their day-to-day quality of life.
I think there are a lot of concerns about not just the home value, but also what it means to live there in terms of access to amenities and other things that we know are important for assessing the value of not just a home, but an entire neighborhood.
Crown Hill, Martindale, Brightwood, and the Far East Side are just some of the neighborhoods mentioned in this study. Researchers say they hope the data is used to help people in these neighborhoods, even if they're not looking to sell their home.
Folks who are choosing to stay there are equipped with the same types of opportunities as people elsewhere.
They plan to take their findings to local leaders and community members and hope to brainstorm ways to reverse this trend and bring resources to neighborhoods in need. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And we will have deeper details on this story tonight at 6, including a reaction from a local realtor and what she thinks needs to be done to help improve home values in these neighborhoods.
IndyGo is getting ready to roll out route changes that will impact every rider that uses its transit system. But before those changes take effect, they want to hear from you. Right now, the Downtown Transit Center is the hub of IndyGo's system. It's where most riders make their transfers, but with the new grid system, you will be able to transfer in more locations across the city. IndyGo says the change is a long time coming and will make riding the buses easier and more convenient, but they also want to hear what you have to say about it.
They most certainly do. In fact, we've already been able to make some adjustments based on comments that we've gotten from the community and working with community leaders.
Today is the last day for people to weigh in. The public hearing starts tonight at 5:30 at IndyGo headquarters on West Washington Street. The feedback will be presented to the IndyGo Board of Directors at the end of this month. The changes are scheduled to take effect in June.
Well, tonight we have new information on the condition of Hoosier native and NASCAR driver Ryan Newman. Newman suffered serious injuries in this horrific crash on the last lap of the Daytona 500 last night. His team, Roush Fenway Racing, just issued an update saying Newman remains under the care of doctors at a Daytona hospital, but he is awake and speaking with family and doctors. They said Ryan and his family appreciate the concern and heartfelt messages from across the country. Updates will continue to be provided when available. And former Purdue quarterback Drew Brees says he wants to come back for another season in the NFL. The 41-year-old Brees announced on social media that he plans to return for what would be his 20th NFL season and the 15th with the New Orleans Saints. His decision to return will set in motion negotiations on a new contract.
New at 5:30 tonight on the Now Indy, we are taking a look at how a community has embraced a family dealing with tragedy as investigators look at a snag that kept firefighters from responding quickly to their burning home.
And just ahead here at 5, the jurors now have the case and they'll decide the fate of a Hollywood powerhouse who was accused of sexually assaulting countless women. The instructions from the judge to Harvey Weinstein's lawyers.
And a big blue H on the weather map will mean several things. One, a quiet pattern. I'll explain that, and below average temperatures for a while. Beautiful jewelry.
Former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich is expected to walk out of a Colorado prison today a free man. This after President Trump commuted his 14-year sentence to time served, about 8 years. The 63-year-old former governor was convicted of political corruption in 2010, just months after he appeared on Trump's reality TV show Celebrity Apprentice. Blagojevich exhausted his last appeal in 2018 and had seemed destined to remain behind bars until his projected 2024 release. Also today, the president pardoned Edward DeBartolo Jr., the former owner of the San Francisco 49ers, convicted in a gambling fraud scandal. He was involved in one of the biggest owner scandals in the sports history in 1998. He pleaded guilty to failing to report a felony when he paid $400,000 to former Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards in exchange for a riverboat gambling license. DeBartolo built one of the most successful NFL teams in the game's history.
Right now, deliberations are underway in the rape trial of former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. And as the jury considers his innocence or the guilt, the judge is telling his defense team not to talk to the media. ABC's Trevor Alt has the latest from New York.
The fate of disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein is now in the hands of the jury. Deliberations began Tuesday regarding the 5 sex crimes Weinstein is facing. Within an hour, the jurors asking for clarity on the charges before continuing the discussion of possible guilt. Before the deliberations began, an order coming from the judge telling Weinstein's defense team to stop talking to the press. That decision coming after defense attorney Donna Rotunno wrote an op-ed piece in Newsweek which directly addresses the jurors. The The judge saying to Weinstein at one point today, "I would caution you about the tentacles of your public relations."
I see it as an act of desperation to try to appeal to the jury that it was not appropriate. And I'm glad that the prosecution brought it to the court's attention.
Weinstein is accused of raping an actress in a New York City hotel room in 2013 and forcing a sex act on production assistant Mimi Halei in 2006. 4 other women were called as witnesses by the prosecution, alleging rape and sex assault in an attempt to show he was a serial sexual predator who used his power and influence to target young women. Weinstein says any sexual activity with the women was consensual, denying all claims. Before being ordered not to talk to the media, his defense team said the prosecution didn't have a case.
This is a case that should be about evidence. It shouldn't be about emotion. It shouldn't be about feelings, and it's not a popularity contest.
If Weinstein's convicted, he could face life in prison, and as this is happening, he's also facing separate rape charges stemming from different alleged incidents in Los Angeles. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
And now to Democracy 2020 and the race for president. And for the first time this election season, Michael Bloomberg will share the debate stage with his fellow Democrats. We learned overnight that Bloomberg qualified for tomorrow's debate in Nevada. The billionaire and former New York mayor qualified for the Las Vegas event after a new NPR PBS poll showed him polling well above the 10% threshold that's needed. Bloomberg has already spent more than $380 million of his own money on TV advertising. Early voting is underway in Nevada ahead of Saturday's caucus.
If you had a chance to step outside today, you may have noticed the sun was trying to peek through, but was never successful.
I like to call it self-destruct.
It's nice to say trying. I felt like it just wasn't there.
It was.
Well, yeah, a little bit. If at first you try. If you don't succeed, you try again.
Do it again.
Tomorrow's the big day, okay? The clear skies are over northern portions of Illinois. We've got the cloud cover around and a couple of sprinkles. Let's zip to the south and east along Interstate 74. Decatur County, couple sprinkles there. Greensburg area, that stretches northeast, maybe toward Brookville Reservoir, and it will exit the state to the southeast. Temperatures have been falling since early this morning. They won't hit rock bottom until Friday morning. Our coldest afternoon will occur on Thursday. Temperatures will stay in the 20s. We'll wake up with temperatures as cold as the teens. I think Lafayette, Monticello, Logansport may be down to 14 degrees. That is Thursday morning. It will be quite cool tomorrow morning and also Wednesday morning as well, although tomorrow morning is Wednesday. All right, let's figure that out. 37, that's our current temperature in Indy, 41 in Muncie, 41 in Bloomington and Bedford. Remember yesterday, temperatures were in the 50s at this hour there. This evening, we're all seeing that northwest wind deliver the colder temperatures. Sometimes you could be nervous to appear on TV. But Archie's big moment, does he look relaxed?
Totally calm and groomed.
That's like a portrait picture.
Yeah,
right
it really
there.
is.
Archie, thanks for sharing your time with us this evening. Of course, he's here for his own interest. He wants me to take him for a walk, so I'm doing that through the forecast. Janie Adamson in the picture. Temperatures in the 30s this evening, but it's dry, unlike yesterday where we had rain showers at this time. 38, the high temperature tomorrow. The biggest difference will be the sunshine. The wind will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 7 a.m. Thursday, we're going to have more in the way of cloud cover first half of the day, then more sunshine second half of Thursday. Thursday temperatures getting a little colder, 23 degrees, lunchtime temperature at 26. These are actually the coldest high temperatures I have in the forecast. Upper 20s will be the high temperature. Then as we go to southern portions of the state, temperatures will be just a little bit warmer than that. Let's check out these morning lows on Friday. 14, Lafayette, Kokomo, Logansport, right in the heart of central Indiana. Mid to upper teens and generally 17 or 18 in the southern portion of the state. That is Friday morning. Friday afternoon, sunshine to the rescue, kind of. We'll hit 35 for that afternoon high. Really, the next best chance for any moisture will come in the form of potentially some light snow late Saturday night. It changes to rain, though, as temperatures come back into the mid-40s for the high on the Sunday. Monday and Tuesday will hold on to a chance of rain and keep temperatures above average. 41 is our average high, and we'll be in the mid to upper 40s.
All right. Thanks, Kevin, for that. So what a pair here. A pigeon and a pup. The circumstances that brought this unlikely couple together to become best friends.
Repeating for yourself at Mattress Firm.
Here is something sure to make you smile. The unlikely duo of pigeon and pup. Herman the pigeon suffered neurological damage and can no longer fly. The Mia Foundation in Rochester, New York took him in. The rescue organization rehabilitates animals with physical deformities. Herman was introduced to little Lundy, a Chihuahua puppy that can't walk, and the two just really hit it off. I mean, these pictures are so cute.
Aren't they adorable?
They are so cute. They started cuddling almost immediately after posting these photos on social media of the pair. The foundation raised $6,000 in 2 days. It's unknown if Herman and Lundy will stay together. Lundy may already have a new home lined up, but the question is, will the new owner adopt Herman too? Let's hope they get to stay together. I mean, how can you not?
Do. Look at them. Yeah, they're got to be a pair. Got to be a pair.
That is so cute.
They're adorable together. Yes.
Best friends.
All new at 6 p.m. here. A mentally ill semi-truck driver caused a crash that killed twin girls and their mother. So how was he able to get a license in the first place? Well, Call 6 Investigates finds out and shows us what we all should know.
But first on the Now, Indy celebrating a milestone year for Indiana Black Expo. Plans are taking shape for one of the biggest events, who you'll see at the summer celebration. You're watching RTV6.